Hello. Hold on. Can you see me? I hope you can. Hold on. Yeah, I hope you can hear me. I am not at the coffee shop today, as you can see. I am at my favorite Ethiopian spot in Central. If you're from Charlotte, you should definitely check out Abugitas. But today we're going to be talking about my relationship with food and how I'm coming into a different way of eating. Also considering that I was raised in a very Dominican household and it was just like we were eating plantains all the time. So buckle up, get some snacks, and I'm gonna try to be as clear as possible. Energy wise, I'm feeling but I still wanted to record this because I literally recorded this 2 days ago, and then I'm looking at the footage and the footage had no audio, bro. I literally wanted to cry, but I didn't. I was just like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. They just trying to stop the greatness, and it's okay. I can record this again, so I'm recording this again. But to start off, I do want to speak about my beginning stages of my relationship with food. Sorry, the lady that owns this place, she just looked at me, and that's my girl. So we just like locked eyes for a second. But when I was little, I moved from Dominican Republic here when I was 4. Well, not here to Charlotte, but I moved to New York. So I was basically raised in the Bronx. And obviously, I remember early stages of me eating at the beginning when I was like a baby. I know a lot of people are not able to remember that far deep into their memory, but I can. And I do remember eating like a lot of like rice and beans and just like a lot of chicken and stuff like that. And then when I moved to New York, it was always like, the convenience of having a corner store was just it was the best, like we had the bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll every time. I also was very the streets of New York is also very diverse, so I also got to understand halal food and Indian food and Chinese food, and that was always like around. But I will say that growing up in a Dominican household, it's just like, I wouldn't say like they force feed their kids, but it's always like, oh, if you're too skinny, quote unquote, they're always like, oh, you need to eat more meat. Like they always be saying that, like, you need to eat more meat, or if you are a little bit on the heavier side, like you need to slow down. It's very like they make it really known. They think that you're a little overweight, they gonna make it known. Like they gonna tell you like, girl, stop eating. And growing up in middle school, I was like 150, probably 110 pounds, around the same height that I am now, so approximately like 5 feet. And school, yes, yes. And growing up in middle school, it was just the food in middle school was just so horrible. Like I really truly did not like the way that they fed us in school. It was always like chocolate milk, and like the pizza was always just like the dough was just so like I hated it. But outside of that, I was also going through a lot of like traumatic shit that teenagers go through in middle school. And growing up in the Bronx, it was not easy because it was just like girls always wanted to fight, and then I had to figure out a way to defend myself and like not be pussy, because it's like, oh, if I get home and I got my ass beat, I'm getting another ass beat because I got my ass beat. You feel me? So it was that, and me not wanting to do that. And so yeah, that played a lot into my eating habits. I would barely eat some days, and eventually I developed an iron deficiency. So I was I don't think I'm anemic anymore. I've definitely been able to control it with the way that I'm eating now, because I'm eating way better, and the foods that I'm eating has a lot of iron and fiber, and just taking care of myself now. But back then, like, obviously at home I was eating whatever my dad and my mom were cooking. So it was rice, beans, chicken, plantains, and it would be like asopao, and it would be sancocho, and it was a very Dominican household, very Dominican household. And we were always encouraged to eat until you get full. You know what I'm saying? Like, feeling full and feeling, over the limit was always better than not feeling like that at all. And that kind of developed this thing of like, oh my God, if I'm not full, if I don't feel like I'm exploding, then I'm not full. And that was definitely a thing that I had to learn at a very, very early stage of my adulthood, whereas like I don't have to eat to feel like I'm exploding. I have to eat to feel fulfilled and satisfied, and know what that means and know what that feels like for me. So that was that. And obviously, and I remember in New York, if you know about this middle school, shout out to you. Wait, hold on, let me clean my glasses. But okay, this is way better. But I remember when I was going to middle school, there was this corner store in front of my middle school, and they were selling like dollar sandwiches for the kids at school. Obviously, if you came to school with $1, it was like, you feel me, you can get a whole sandwich. It would be a hero, and it would be butter, cheese, and a slice of ham, and that's it. That's what you would get for $1. And if you brought $3, now you're getting 2 chips and a nutty, or you're getting 2 chips in Arizona, and then you calling it a day. You feel me? So that was definitely like, my eating habits were definitely not the best growing up. And yeah, but I think that my dad did have, like, because both of my parents are cooks, right? So they were always watching Food Network. They were always trying out new recipes, my mom and my dad. But I remember there was this one time, traumatic ass experience. But my dad, we were at my aunt's house in Jersey, and he was grilling, and I was like, ew, broccoli, and he was like, now you're gonna have to eat that shit. And I really didn't want to, bro. I started crying. Like, he really like force fed me that fucking broccoli. And but for moments like that, I am, even though it's traumatic as fuck, I am grateful, because I now have a very like expanded palate, if you will. Like, I'm able to eat anything. I don't have any allergies. I am very diverse when it comes to my cooking, what I like to eat. Like, it's just that I'm grateful for that because of that. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Where's Binti?
Today she went to church after
Okay.
that got tired.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
She
this,
was here after church.
Really?
Yeah, with me for like an hour or two.
I'm probably gonna see her probably next week. I might stop by next week.
No, but now school is back.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah. So
Oh,
they be rarely be here.
yeah. Aww.
How is everybody doing?
But shout out her. Wait, let me show you my food. I need to show y'all this. Can you see my tea, my samosa? Shout out the queen. Shout out the. But yeah, like, I think I definitely want to thank my dad for giving me that extra push when it came to my thoughts about other foods, because I was always thinking like, ew, this is so disgusting. And he used to be like, don't knock something till you try it. Even though he was saying it like in a very aggressive way, I still appreciated it now, because it's like, I'm able to appreciate other things besides what I'm used to eating, which is Dominican food and New York food, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, I just remember that. And then once I started getting into like my own cooking and cooking at home and moving out on my own, which I was 21 at the time, I'm 24 now. I moved out when I was 21, and I started cooking on my own, and I really developed a love for a lot of Mediterranean meals, Asian cuisine, Indian cuisine, Ethiopian cuisine, and still adding that sense of home, which is like spices and a lot of peppers and stuff like that. And I don't think that part of me will ever leave. Like, Dominican food definitely does feel like home, and it will forever be home and comfort for me. But I feel like where I am at this stage of my life is like now, I'm in the gym every single day, so I'm having to track my calories. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm fit for my body, and I'm not, force feeding myself or also starving myself, that I'm feeding myself what I need to feed myself and keeping it like that, and kind of developing a more healthier relationship or connection with food, because I love food and I would dead ass gain like 30 pounds in one day if I was to be a little cuckoo, you feel me? Which I'm not. So yeah, but I definitely will say too that when I was also growing up Dominican, it's like I don't know why I feel called to share this, but there was this one time, I'm not gonna say who said this dumbass shit, but there was this one time after I had my baby. Obviously, once you have a child, it's like a little background story about that as well. Oh, hold on, let me pray first. Thank you, God. Thank you so much for this food that I'm about to receive. God bless the hands that made this food. Amen. Oof. But yeah, it was so good. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so good. Okay, I need one more bite before I start talking. Um, I had Ethan, my son, when I was 16. At that time, I was like 115 pounds. I went from 115 pounds to the day that I gave birth, I was 198, and it was all water, all belly. I definitely gained some weight myself, but the this idea that women have to snack back really quick, or that you have to really watch what you eat, like all these things were in the back of my mind, because Dominicans make it really known, like, and they judge you, like they judge you hard, like Dominicans when it comes to judging, child. And so I remember after I had my baby and stuff like that, like obviously, I'm left with stretch marks, which I had to learn how to love and appreciate myself for, and really just sit here and be like, no, I had a child. Like, this is beautiful, and I'm able to do that with my body. Like, it's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? And I think that, oh, they getting loud up here, baby. Whoa. But I remember this person, I'm not gonna say who it was because I will literally violate this man. He was like, if you had, if you get a lipo, you don't ever have to worry about, you know, that belly jiggly stretch mark stomach that you have, and if you added some butt to you, you would just be perfect. I said, bitch. I said, I don't need all of that to be fucking perfect. I am perfect. And it made me so aware of how people really view women who give birth, like, in their bodies, and how they judge them. And even just women in general, I feel like they go through these things where they feel like they have to look a certain way because Instagram is telling y'all that, yeah, I have to look a certain way. And it's just like, no, allow everybody looking around, everybody that you see in the streets that have had liposuction or, BBL, and y'all all look the same. No tea, no shade. You feel me? At the end of the day, if you're really doing that because you feel like, I've been struggling with maintaining, and I really have some disease that's not able to allow me to fluctuate my weight and all these things, by all means, that's the perfect way to kind of, if that's what you feel like you have to do to love yourself, Ain't is nothing wrong with that. Is nothing wrong with that. And if you just feel like you want some excess weight off after you've lost or whatever the case may be, by all means. But when people are doing it just for the base of aesthetics, and just because people tell them like, yeah, you would look great with a lipo, it's just like, bro, if you walk around Dominican Republic, I'm not gonna say all percent of the women, but 50% of the women in DR are all under surgery, and they all look the same. Some of them look, because it's like there's a lot of doctors in DR too that are just doing it, and they're not really educating themselves or educating the patients how to take care of themselves after, which is another thing. There's a high volume of women dying that are putting themselves under that table and just laying their life down, quite literally. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give a shout out to your body. I want to give a shout out to the way you look and the way you dress and the way you walk. I feel like there's nothing more beautiful than you. You are perfect. Your body is perfect, and whatever that may look like, you know what I'm saying? Just because it doesn't fit well in somebody else's eyes, because they have this idea of what a woman's body is supposed to look like, that ain't got shit to do with you. You feel me? And so now that I'm understanding the value of just wanting to be better for myself health wise and really take care of my body, and just allow myself to be fit, and what fit means to me and what health looks like for me is very important. So now I'm tracking calories, you know what I'm saying, but also adding those fixation, is that how you say it, high fixation meals. So a lot of overnight oats, a lot of, I'm not a really big fan of carbs anyway. I switch regular rice to black rice. It's been really really good. A lot of mushrooms. I'm still transitioning into me being vegan, which is something that I don't know if I want to fully immerse in, because I love food. So it's not impossible. I've definitely done it in the past, so I will see where that takes me. But I love the way that my body feels when it's just eating clean and it's no meat and stuff like that. So yeah, but tracking my calories, eating a lot of fibers, eating a lot of protein, and finding protein in so many different things. Like, I didn't know that you can get a lot of like protein from nuts and different, things besides meat. I was so confused when I had to learn that, but it also allows me to fully explore in the kitchen. My love for cooking just is in my blood. My grandma, my great grandma, my great great grandma, like everybody is cooks, and they love what they do, and what the flavors do to your body and the spices. And growing up in Dominican Republic, I'm from Nagua, which is like the north of Dominican Republic, and we're right next to the beach. And crabs and anything that's from the sea was really integrated in our cuisine, especially from Nagua. And it's something that just brings me so much joy, and I know the power of fish because of that, and what it can do for the body and how it makes you feel. So yeah. And integrating also, I think that within itself also integrated a lot of like coconut use and the way that I cook, because obviously I'm living in the island. I was living in the island. So yeah, that's basically it. I will be posting a lot more recipes, and I do want to just share my cooking with the world. I feel like it's fun. I feel like it doesn't have to be one way. It's basically like traveling the world. When you're trying something, when you're eating something, it's like traveling the world. It's getting a piece of somebody's home, and it can bring so much comfort. It can really heal you. So I'm excited to be sharing that more, and I kind of just wanted this to be like an intro into that. Yeah, let me take another bite. Hold on, because it's staring at me. So so good. Every time I come here, I get Ethiopian tea, and bro, Jesus, one of the best teas out here. Ethiopian tea, the samosas, the dodo wet. Yeah, I'm good, baby. I've had. I used to have. What was I having before this? It wasn't the dodo wet. I used to have like just a platter where it had like the lentils and the chicken. But ever since I got the dodo wet, I never put it down. Like it's just been a staple. So every time I'm here, that's what I get. But yeah. Wow. And it's just so comforting too. Like it's just you can taste the cinnamon and the cardamom and the cloves. It's just I will definitely be trying this at home just because too like I heard it's really good when you're about to get on your period and it's about to be my moon cycle for me. So I need to definitely figure that one out at home too and kind of like make that for myself. But also, I want to speak about the connection between your fingers and eating. A lot of people don't eat with their hands, and I encourage you start eating with your hands. Please wash your hands thoroughly under your fingernails and make sure your hands are clean before you start eating with your hands. But it's something that happens in the chemistry of your brain, your fingers, and your mouth. When you're touching something, it already is getting your body ready for what it's about to intake. It feels the texture is you're looking at it and it's just you know what you're about to eat, you know what I'm saying, and then it creates this relationship between you and the food, and I think it's beautiful. So yeah, I think that's it, honestly. Thank you so much for being back again. Like, I appreciate this. Although this is not our usual healing talk, I feel like relationship with food is very healing, and it's always something that should be worked on, if especially if you feel like you need to be working on that. So, yeah, thank you for coming back. I'm sending you so much love and so much kisses and so much hugs. And yeah, bye.